Hi students, in our last video we discussed two various very important concepts that were variations in supply and changes in supply. We saw there were two different kinds of variations in supply: expansion in supply and contraction in supply. Expansion and contraction takes place due to the change in price of a commodity and other things remaining constant. On the other hand, changes in supply are also of two kinds: increase in supply and decrease in supply. Both increase and decrease takes place not due to change in price, but due to change in other factors affecting supply of a commodity. Now, in this video we are going to discuss the concepts of cost and concepts of revenue. Concepts of cost and concepts of revenue. Before we go to discuss these concepts of costs and revenue, here some important information is given that you should know. What is that? Supply is a microeconomic concept. Here we are dealing with supply, means the supply of a particular commodity. Therefore, it is a microeconomic concept. On the other hand, there is another one concept, that is concept of aggregate supply. It is a macroeconomic concept. Why it is a macroeconomic concept? Because of aggregate supply means the supply of all type of goods and services in a country during the year. Here we are taking into account the supply of all type of goods and services at the same time. So, this is the total supply, and this is a macroeconomic concept, and supply is a microeconomic concept. Supply refers to the quantity of a commodity which the seller is ready to sell at a given price during a specific period of time. On the other hand, aggregate supply refers to the minimum amount of sales proceeds which entrepreneurs expect to receive from the sale of output at a given level of employment. Here, aggregate supply is measured in terms of the amount of money which all the entrepreneurs must receive by selling their output which they have produced at a certain level of employment. So, this is the difference between supply and aggregate supply. Now, we are going to see the different concepts of cost and revenue. First of all, we are going to see cost of the cost of production, means the expenditure incurred on factors of production, on inputs. Which are the inputs? Land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. Land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. These are the four factors of production required for producing any kind of commodity. So, whatever expenditure is made by a firm on these factors of production during the process of production, that expenditure incurred by a firm is called as a cost of production. So, it is the expenditure incurred by a firm on its inputs. Okay. Inputs means raw material, machines, labor, as well as interest on capital, rent of a factory building. So, this kind of expenditure incurred by a firm on producing goods and services, that is called cost of production. There is a direct relationship between cost of production and the output level. See, the cost of production increases with increase in need of output. As you increases the level of output, your cost of production also increases. There are three different important concepts related to the cost that we are going to learn here. Total cost, second one is average cost, and third one is marginal cost. Before we go to discuss these two concepts, marginal and average cost, we will see what is mean by total cost. See, total cost is the total expenditure incurred by a firm. It is what? It is the total expenditure incurred by a firm on the factors of production required for the production of goods and services. So, whatever the expenditure, total expenditure incurred by a firm on producing goods and services, that total expenditure is called as a total cost. The total cost is can be divided into the two different parts, that is TFC and TVC, where TFC means total fixed cost and TVC means total variable cost. So, the total cost is sum of total fixed cost and total variable cost. These are the two different parts in which the total cost can be divided, total fixed cost and total variable cost. See what is mean by total fixed cost. See, we can divide the factors, we can divide the inputs of firm in two different parts. Some inputs are fixed and some are variable in nature. For example, factory building machines, these are the fixed assets, these are the fixed inputs which never change with change in level of output. Either you are producing less or more, these inputs, the quantity of these inputs remain constant. Therefore, these inputs are known as fixed inputs. And some inputs used by firm are variable. It means their quantity we have to change according to the level of output, like number of laborers, raw material. These are some things which we have to change according to the level of output. Fuel is also a variable factor of production, variable input, but vehicle is a fixed input. So, as per the inputs, we can divide the expenditure made on inputs as a fixed cost and a variable cost. The expenditure incurred by a firm on its fixed inputs, on its fixed assets like factory building, machines, tools, equipments, vehicles used for transportation, these are the fixed assets, and the expenditure incurred on these fixed assets is known as total fixed cost. So, see, total fixed cost are those expenses of production which which are incurred on fixed factors such as land, machinery, vehicles, electricity, factory buildings. These are the some examples of a total fixed cost. Okay. So, total cost means what? Total fixed cost means what? The expenditure or the expenses incurred by a firm on its fixed factors of production. Now, the second part of total cost is total variable cost. Total variable cost. Total variable costs are those expenses of production which are incurred on variable factors such as labor, raw material, power, fuel, etc. This is the variable, this is changeable with change in level of output. In short period of time, the quantity of fixed assets remain constant. Therefore, the fixed cost will also be remain constant. And on the other hand, during a short period of time, we can change the quantity of variable inputs like workers, raw material, power, fuel. This is changeable. To increase the output level, we can increase the quantity of these variable inputs. To reduce the production, we can reduce the quantity of these variable inputs in a short period of time. Therefore, in a short period of time, the variable cost, total variable cost is changeable. It changes according to the level of output. At any level of output, total fixed cost remain constant, but the total variable cost changes according to the level of output. So, this is the difference between total fixed cost and total variable cost. Two important things I have shared here about the total fixed cost and total variable cost. One more time, once again I am sharing it with you. See, the first point is a definition. Total fixed cost means the expenses incurred by a firm on its fixed assets. For example, factory building, machines, tools and equipments, vehicles. The expenditure incurred on these assets is fixed cost. And on the other hand, total variable cost means the expenses incurred by a firm on its variable, changeable factors such as raw material, such as power, fuel, such as number of workers. So, this is the expenditure which increases with increase in level of output and decreases with decrease in level of output, which total variable cost. On the other hand, total fixed cost remains constant at any level of output. So, these are the 2 points which we can write if the difference between total variable cost and total fixed cost is asked in exam. Okay. So, sum of total fixed cost and total variable cost is what? Sum of TFC and TVC is total cost. Okay. This is the formula of total cost, you keep in your mind. Now, next one, another one important concepts regarding to cost is average cost. Average cost refers to cost of production per unit. It is the total cost of production per unit of a commodity produced during a specific period of time. How it is calculated? It is calculated by dividing total cost by total quantity produced. Average cost, AC means what? Average cost is equal to total cost divided by total quantity produced. For example, if the total cost of production of 40 units of commodity is 800, then the average cost is AC is equal to TC divided by TQ. 800 divided by 40. 800 is what? 800 is total cost and 40 is what? Total quantity produced. So, here the average cost means the per unit cost is rupees 20. In such a way, average cost can be derived. Next one, important concept, marginal cost. Marginal cost. Marginal cost is the net addition made to the total cost by producing one more unit of output. It is what? It is the net addition made to the total cost due to producing one extra unit of a commodity. For example, see, suppose the total cost of producing the total cost of producing 40 units of X commodity is rupees 100. This is what? This is the total cost and this is the total quantity or units of commodity produced. Now, 41 units are produced. If the firm produces 41 units, then the total cost will be 890 rupees. Due to producing this last unit, this extra unit of a commodity, how much the total cost is increased? What is the net addition made to the total cost? The net addition made to the total cost is 90. Okay. How we derived marginal cost? Marginal cost of n unit is equal to total cost of n units minus total cost of n minus 1 unit. Marginal cost of 41 units is equal to total cost of 41 units is 890 and total cost of 41 minus 1 means 40th unit is 800 is equal to 90. Marginal cost is 90 rupees. So, in such a way we can derive the marginal cost. Okay. Here we can see the formula. Once again I will like to repeat the definition of marginal cost. Marginal cost is the net addition made to the total cost by producing one more unit of output. In simple words, we can say that it is the expenditure incurred by a firm on producing extra unit or an additional unit of a commodity. Formula, MCN is equal to TCN minus TCN minus 1. Here number of units n represents marginal cost of nth unit, TCN is equal to total cost of nth unit, TCN minus 1 is equal to total cost of previous units. Here example is given. See, if previous total cost of producing 4 units is rupees 200 and total cost of producing 5 units is rupees 250, then marginal cost is equal to 250 minus 200. So, what is the marginal cost? Marginal cost is rupees 50. There is another one formula of marginal cost. आणखीन एक फॉर्म्युला आहे मार्जिनल कॉस्ट काढण्याचा. मार्जिनल कॉस्ट ऑफ nth युनिट इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा TC डिवाइडेड बाय डेल्टा TQ. डेल्टा TC divided by delta TQ. Here see The same example we will solve here. Marginal cost of nth unit, marginal cost of fifth unit is what total cost. Here delta TC, delta TC means change in total cost. What is the change in total cost? The change in total cost is rupees 50. Previous total cost was 200 and now the total cost of producing 5 units is 250. So, what is the change? The change in total cost is rupees 50. Total cost is changed by rupees 50. Therefore, delta TC is, the value of delta TC is 50. And delta TQ, change in total quantity. Previously he was producing 4 units, now he is producing 5 units. So, change in quantity is 1. Therefore, the marginal cost of nth unit is 50. In such a way, we can also derive marginal cost. Okay, find out the marginal cost. If a firm produces 600 units of a commodity in a day and incurs a total cost of rupees 30,000, calculate the average cost. We can calculate the average cost here also. A firm producing 600 units, average cost is equal to total cost divided by total quantity. The total cost is 30,000 and what is the quantity produced? That is 600. So, the total average cost is rupees 500 per unit, 500 per unit. Okay. Now, see the concepts of revenue. Same formulas are here. What is meant by revenue? Revenue refers to the receipts. Revenue means what? Receipts obtained by a firm from the sale of certain quantities of a commodity at a given price in the market. So, here revenue means what? Revenue means the total amount of money received by a firm after the sale of certain quantities of a commodity at a given price in the market. There are again 3 important concepts related to the revenue: total revenue, average revenue and marginal revenue. What is meant by total revenue? How it is calculated? Total revenue is the total sales proceeds of a firm by selling a commodity at a given price. It is what? It is the total sales proceeds. Sales proceeds, विक्री मूल्य, जेवढ्या काही वस्तू त्याने बाजारात विकलेल्या आहेत त्यांची विक्री करून प्राप्त झालेला जो काही अमाउंट ऑफ मनी आहे त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो? सेल्स प्रोसीड्स. तर टोटल रेव्हेन्यू मीन्स द टोटल सेल्स प्रोसीड of a firm by selling a commodity at a given price in the market. How it is calculated? Total revenue is equal to price into quantity, price into total quantity sold. Okay. One example is given here. If a firm sells 15 units of a commodity at rupees 200 per unit, then total revenue will be price 200 and total quantity sold 15. So, the total revenue is 3,000 rupees. Now, average revenue, it is the revenue per unit of output sold, per unit of output sold. In the same example, if a producer sold 15 units of X commodity at rupees 200 per unit and earned 3,000 rupees, then what is the average revenue? See, average revenue is equal to total revenue divided by total quantity sold. The total revenue is 3000 and the total quantity sold is 15. So, what is the average revenue? Here average revenue is rupees 200. Average revenue is nothing but it is a price of a commodity. Average revenue means what? It is the price of a commodity. See, here the formulas are given. Average revenue is equal to total revenue divided by total quantity. AR, average revenue. TR stands for total revenue. TQ stands for total quantity. Okay, the same example is solved here. Now, marginal revenue, it is the net addition made to the total revenue. It is what? It is the net addition made to the total revenue by selling an extra unit of a commodity, or it is the revenue earned by selling an extra unit of a commodity. Here marginal revenue is calculated with the help of this formula. Marginal revenue of nth unit is equal to total revenue of nth unit minus total revenue of n minus 1 unit, means previous units. Okay. Here one example is given. If the previous total revenue from the sale of 20 tables is rupees 4000, if the previous total revenue from the sale of 20 tables is rupees 4000 and that from the sale of 21 tables is rupees 4200. So, what is the marginal revenue? Marginal revenue is 4200 minus 4000. The marginal revenue is rupees 200 per table. Is it okay? I hope that you have understood all these concepts properly. The marginal revenue also can be calculated with the help of another one formula. This formula I am giving here. Marginal revenue of nth unit is equal to change in total revenue divided by change in total quantity. In the same example, see what is the change in total revenue. Previously the total revenue was 4000 rupees and now due to selling one extra unit the total revenue gone up to 4200. So, what is the net addition made to the total revenue? That is 200 rupees. And what is the change in total quantity? Previously a seller was selling 20 units of X commodity, sorry tables, and now he is selling 21 tables, means the change in total quantity is 1. So, therefore, marginal revenue is equal to rupees 200 per unit. So, you should keep in your mind both these formulas of calculating marginal revenue and also marginal cost. Okay. So, these are the concepts of revenue and costs. I hope that you have understood all these concepts properly. One homework is given for you here. If a firm sells 400 units of a commodity at rupees 10, calculate the total revenue and average revenue. 400 units of commodity at rupees 10, total revenue is equal to price into quantity. What is the price? Rupees 10. What is the total quantity sold? That is 400. It means it is 4000 rupees total revenue. Okay. And what about average revenue? Average revenue is equal to total quantity divided, total revenue divided by total quantity. What is the total revenue? 4000 rupees and total quantity is 400 units. See, the average revenue is equal to rupees 10. So, I already told you that average revenue is nothing but it is what? It is a price of a product. So, this is all from this topic supply analysis. I hope that you have understood properly all these things. You are getting all these things properly. In this topic, we saw the behavior of a producer. We saw that a producer tends to supply more quantity of a commodity at a higher price and less at a lower price. We also saw the law of supply, we saw the determinants of market supply, we saw the different concepts, variations in supply, changes in supply, we saw different concepts related to the cost and revenue. So, enjoy yourself, take care, thank you, bye bye.